Hey, good morning, everyone. Today I'm here with Coach MJ, and I've known Coach MJ for probably a couple of years now through one of the Facebook groups that I'm in that deals with mindset and things like that. And I'd like to welcome Coach MJ here today. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing absolutely incredible. Thanks for asking.
Well, you're quite welcome. Let's go ahead and start it off by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I retired from, I'm an accountant. I have a master's degree in accounting, and I worked for a company for 12 years as their accountant, and I retired in December of 2020. And I got certified as a life business coach in December of 2019 because I felt, I can't do nothing. I'm not going to retire and do nothing. I have to do something. And I had been coaching people on Facebook when Facebook first opened up Facebook groups with the idea of adding mentorship to the Facebook group. So I got invited to be what they called a mentor at that time. And so I had been coaching a few people. And then I thought, I really like doing this. So I got certified in December of 2021. And I thought, when I retired, I started building my coaching business while I was working full time, that I would be able to continue working as a coach. And when I retired and continue to have a stream of income. And so that's how I ended up becoming a coach. Um, that's just the very beginning of my journey, my online journey, which has just morphed and changed. And in 2021, I was hit with a crisis, a health crisis of four vertebrae compression fractures, which took me to my knees. I call it my crash and burn of 2021. And my life just stopped, in my opinion. Life as I knew it was over and done, and everything that I had set myself up for in 2021 to do and dream of, I could not do it. So that's, pretty much the story of why I'm where I'm at today and why I had to make a change. I mean, I just had to go back and look at my business plan, and I had to redesign and figure out a way to be able to do my business in some shape, form, or fashion of bringing in an income outside of coaching. So,
Okay. Um, you had mentioned that you had gone through some health issues. So many people, when they go through health issues, play the victim. It's the doctor's fault. It's the insurance company's fault. It's everybody else but my fault. Or to use a better word, responsibility. How did you avoid playing the victim while you were in the middle of these issues?
well, to be honest with you, Rodney, I don't think anyone avoids the victim mindset, let's say, when something like that horrible happens in your life. Um, when it first happened, it was like, okay, I was scrambling to find out what's wrong with me. Why am I in this pain? And then when I found out I had fractures, and I had to go through the medical process of either surgeries or pain medicines or something, to give me relief so I could function. And I went down a very, very dark tunnel during that time because this was in May of 2021. By October, I had the four fractures and I was struggling with keeping up with my coaching business. And finally, in October, I had to say, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to have to put this on the table till next year. And I even was considering getting in my car because I live in Florida, and I think, okay, I'll get in my car and I'll just drive down to the beach and I'll drive off the bridge. As I'm going over the bridge between the different peninsulas, I'll just drive off the bridge. And I really considered doing that, and that was a very, very dark place. And I was in a Sunday meeting with our dear friend Ava with the Soaring Alliance group, and it just came upon me. It was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, why are you doing this? But you have the power. You have the power to overcome this. And I just put my hand. I said, okay, this is it. I'm done. Osteoporosis, you no longer have power over me. I am taking the power back. I am taking back the power and my body is going to heal, and it is healing. And I started focusing on mentally looking at my spine, looking at my vertebrae, and seeing God touch them and heal them, restore them. And it was in November when I actually started feeling my body healing. I could feel my body getting stronger. And that's what took me out of that attitude, but I could have stayed there. It was a choice. And I think so many people that play that victim mindset don't even know they have a choice. They feel stuck. And being around the right people, because if it wasn't for the Soaring Alliance group, I don't know if I'd be here today. Because I always got encouragement. I always got support. I always got strong support from my clients, from my prospects that I was connected to, with encouraging me to keep moving on, and I have a monthly group coachathon that we met every month, and I had to stop it. I said, I can't do this anymore. And they said, we can see the pain you're in. We understand. But they decided they wanted to continue with the monthly meetings. And someone said, I'll host it. We can still get in there and we can just have communications and say, well, what would Coach MJ think about this? What would Coach MJ say about this? And I was floored that they were willing to at least continue to pick up the mantle, and that really warmed my heart. It really truly did.
When people give you validation like that, that always helps. Um, and not everybody has access to that initially. Everybody does have can get access to it. They may have to seek it out,
Hmm.
but that sounds like that's what kind of brought you through this and brought you to the turning point that you're at now.
Exactly, exactly. And when it first happened, it was like, okay, God, I really truly believe that this is what you wanted for me, to buy a RV and travel to Minnesota to spend 6, 7, 8 months with my dad, who is in his 90s, and just hang out with family and friends and work my business. What did I do wrong? Where did I mess up? Why can I not do this? So I started, doubting that I was on the right path. But the path is right. It just changed.
When you're ready, the teacher appears.
Exactly. Exactly.
um, the next question kind of goes to the heart of everything. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And the why can be a how
Mhm.
uh, in some sense. So, what is your why?
Yeah. Well, primarily because of my crash and burn of 2021, and I had to redesign my business plan and figure out a way to have multiple streams of income. And working with people, being around people, I could see the pain that they're in and recognize the struggles that they're having because they don't believe in themselves, and because they didn't they hadn't had the opportunity to look at themselves in a different fashion. So my why has become the positive mental attitude that I need to project out to the world and encourage others to also desire to move their life forward. And all the negative stuff that was going on that I was recognizing, and I had to blast it away, and I had to learn some tools and some tricks on how to do that. And I want to share it with the world. So, now what I do is working with mindset and positive mental attitude. I'll work with anybody. It's not just business owners. Anybody that needs that encouragement to look at life in a more positive way and don't know how to do it. Well, I'm your gal. I mean, that just that infuses me and it excites me. And when I see someone in a coaching session that is speaking the truth of their heart and who they really are, that they didn't know that's who they were until they started working with me, it was like, I mean, I celebrate them every day and just get, did you recognize what just happened? And it's so exciting to be a coach that I don't tell my people what to do. I ask them and I give them questions and I get them to discover what it is that they know in their heart that they need to be doing that they're not doing. And then they start taking action and they feel good about it. They feel strengthened by it because they know they've got support.
Good, good. Um, there's so much going on these days that you hear of, from AI to medical advances to there's all sorts of things going on. And what trends in online business excite you the most, and how are you incorporating them into your coaching?
Well, I mean, you talk about AI, and I mean, I do incorporate AI to a certain degree, but I believe that we still need to stay true to ourselves and not make any effort to become something we're not because we have access to technology. We still need to be true to ourselves. And I think AI helps for me. It helps me to get great ideas, maybe have a thought about something that I didn't think that way about it so that I can discover more for me on what is it that I actually understand when I'm trying to produce a piece of content or speak to my audience. Um, but and that's the sad thing that I see with technology today is people becoming moving away from who they are, who they were created to be, and you've got these self-serve kiosks at the stores that you go to. There's no longer service. People aren't getting serviced in the stores anymore. They're now, it's a robot or a kiosk or whatever the case may be. And I personally truly believe it's a trend. I know technology's here and there will be technology that we have to learn how to use. If we don't, we're going to miss out if we don't at least know how to use it. But I believe that the human still needs humanity and it still needs personal connections and service. And it will eventually not go away, but it'll slow down and stream down to a point where it's not going to be this rad, mad stuff that's going on right now. And it's an incredible future to be a part of, but don't get lost in it, I guess is what I would have to say, is just try to keep your true self true to you and who you are and who you desire to be as a human being and not absorb the robotic type attitude.
I understand. I had a brilliant idea this morning. Why don't you know Google has come out with a new AI called Gemini, and supposedly it's the next best thing to sliced bread. It can do some things that Chat GPT can't because it does have a live component to it. So I thought this morning, why don't I ask Gemini to create the questions for you today? And I looked at them, and I asked it to create 10 questions, and of the 10 questions that it created, I used part of one to create the next question for you, and that's the only one that I even remotely used of the output from the AI. What are the most common mistakes you see people make that wind them up in Facebook jail?
Spam.
What do you
What
mean by
is
spam?
spam?
What do you mean by spam?
And I see this happening even today all the time, over and over and over and over and over again. Somebody sends me a friend request, and I'll go look at their profile, and this kills me because these people claim to be six-figure coaches, and they've got this banner, they've got this message on their banner, about, I'll help you make your first 100K in 90 days and blah, blah, blah. And so, and I look at it, I go, I don't know. I'm really not interested in accepting a friend request from someone like that because I'm pretty sure that they just want to sell me something. And so sometimes I relinquish and I accept it. A lot of times I just follow that person. I don't accept their friend request. But 9 times out of 10, when I do accept it, exactly what happens. I get a message. Oh, thank you for accepting my friend request. I've got this program that's this, that, and that, and I know that you're going to be perfect for it, and blah, 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 blah. There is no building relationships happening on Facebook from these I guess I would have to say they've got that get rich quick mindset where I'm just going to put something up there and I know everybody's going to want what I have to offer and they're going to buy and sign up. That's not true. It's not happening. It's harder and harder, I think, for me because Facebook's got so many people on it that it's a great place to prospect, but it takes
Hmm.
longer to find people that resonate with what I do and who I serve that I can build my audience. And, I don't have 5,000 friends. I've never ever been one to go in and just send friend requests, like so many network marketing companies tell them, reach out to 50 people a day, send friend requests, accept their friend requests, and blah, blah, blah. It's not the numbers that make your money, it's the quality of the people that you're connected to that makes the money. And it's still happening today. And I don't know if it's ever going to go away. I'm in another online platform that's becoming a social media platform, and we're finding new people that are setting up an account in there are immediately going into the news feed, and they're just sending out notices of let's get on a call, and the minute you get on a call, they're selling you something. They're not building relationships, and that's where I say with AI, it's taking that personalization out of life and out of humanity. But humans need humans. They always will. That's never ever going to go away. And the best way you can do it is just desire to make good positive connections with people. Get to know them. Ask about them rather than just vomit on them all the time. And this action of, and I go like that because if you do something like this on Facebook, you're going to get blocked. You're going to get a warning or just period. You cannot send messages anymore for 30 days,
Hmm.
but people don't recognize that. Even on a Facebook Live where someone has done a presentation, they've had some online engagement, live engagement, and then somebody comes back and catches the replay and they start responding with the audience, with the speaker, like if you're this or that, put this in the chat, if you're this, and so on. And so you act like you're live, but you're really on the replay, and you start doing that. And then as the owner of that post, you come back to engage with those people and you start engaging with every single one that's commented and you go like this, you will get blocked as the owner because you're going too fast. And that's how those robots work. As soon as there's action that's beyond a certain measurement that they've determined, it's an automatic block. There's no questions asked. And now with Facebook, I mean, Facebook has always used AI. That's been those robots that have gone through and checked everything. Now they're getting even worse with they will mark you for responding to a comment and say your comment's being removed from this community because it's irrelevant to the content. When you're answering the question that was in the post, how is it irrelevant? I can see it, yes. If it's somebody in there spamming and saying, go check out this person's profile, you'll need to know. That would be something that should be blocked. But when it's you're actually answering the question, being helpful, and you're blocked and it's removed, it's crazy. So, their AI is not working right either. And that should speak a lot to the people that are trying to use AI more than they should be using it because they depend on it or trust it. It should show them that it's not trustworthy, that the human is the trustworthy one, and only use it to inspire and advise, but not necessarily use as generated. It's not. It's supposed to be a tool. It's not supposed to replace you. Um, but I mean that those are the two number one things that get people in Facebook jail is spam and then taking that action too fast. Even
Yeah.
responding to messages in Messenger too fast will do it. So,
I've always wondered how they can help me if they don't know what I need yet. I've got a meme, I guess you'd call it, that I send to people that start doing that, and it says, "Stop selling, start helping." And I think that more people need to have kind of a service mindset rather than what I can get from you. Have the mindset of what can I give you? And there's no way to find that out unless you talk to me for a little while. I may not know. I certainly may not tell you the first time we talk because it's kind of personal, can be personal. What do I need? And what are my goals? Not your goals for me. What are my goals? And people
Mhm.
like that kind of get under my skin too,
Yeah,
uh, that do that because they've got the mindset of taking from you rather than giving to you,
yeah, yeah.
which kind of leads me into my next question. What is mindset and how does it affect people's daily lives?
Mm. Well, there's two types of mindsets. One is a growth mindset, and the other is a fixed mindset. And if you have a fixed mindset, that means that the thoughts that you're projecting, the attitudes that you're living off from are, you think, perfect, can't change, don't need to change, and I like the way things are. And if your results are bad and you're not choosing to do something about it, well, they're never ever going to change. And a growth mindset is where you question yourself or go back and rethink the thought or the response that you've provided and just kind of meditate on it and think, well, how could I have done that better? What would be better? That doesn't make me feel good. So why am I saying that to somebody else? If it doesn't make me feel good, how can it make somebody else feel good? Or if it's not encouraging to somebody, it's not encouraging to me, how can it be encouraging to others? And just paying attention to what we think before we speak and listening to people and hearing what they're saying, understanding what they're saying, getting clarity on what they're saying, because some people will say things but that's not what they mean, and if you repeat back to them exactly what they said and they go, "Oh, no, no, that's not what I said." Well, that's what I heard. What did you mean? And not argue about it, just get them to give you more clarity. But and then the world today, you've got so much coming out at us from the media. And if we're going to just sit there and just, okay, I'm going to trust the media, we're a pawn, we're a robot. We don't even have our own mental wellness. We don't have any idea about what we really truly believe in and think about, and be open to other people's ideas. Maybe their idea is not important. Maybe their idea is not what you would think about, but at least be open to giving them the voice and allowing them to have their voice, but don't let them take your voice.
So many times people get in that fixed mindset that you were talking about, and it's like an old worn out shoe. It's comfortable, yes, but is it still functional? No, the thing's falling apart. Your life is falling apart. Can you not see that, or do you not care? And sometimes you just want to grab them by the throat and shake them and ask them that question, but you can't do that. How do you ease into kind of people's comfort zone while telling them they need to change their mindset?
Yeah. Well, again, like what I do is I ask them questions. I keep asking them questions so that the questions they have not asked themselves, that they needed to ask. If I ask that question, and it forces them to think about it, and then they can look at it at a different light. Or, you've always heard old saying, when someone says something and you go, well, how's that working for you? I got a daughter that, she's a screamer, and she's always yelling at her kids. And the kids don't even listen to her anymore. They've turned her off and they continue to just do what they're doing. And I go, "Oh, so how is that working for you? Have you thought about maybe, and give her a thought or a suggestion, not telling her you should be doing this and you should be doing that. No, it's think about it. Think about what can you be doing differently. How can you speak differently to other people? How can you change? I had to do that. I had to learn how to change the words that I use when I was communicating with coworkers in the job that I was on. because I was told nobody likes you, nobody wants to work for you or work with you. Okay, who doesn't want to work with me? Nobody has told me that. So I had to start paying attention to what words am I using? Am I being a little bit too upfront and forward? Because I can be blunt. I've been told that, you can be so blunt at times. Well, sometimes we need that. And so I had to start listening to what other people were saying and asking, and what I was doing in response. Um, and stop overreacting, and stop and think about it for a minute before you speak. Think about your words, your thoughts before you speak. And I had to start doing that. And I think that's a good practice for anyone that wants to at least discover who they are and who do they really want to be, is asking themselves those questions and checking self, being your own guard, and desiring to do better, have that desire to do better. Some people don't. Some people are just so stubborn and stuck in their own misery, and there is no hope for them. And those are the people that you just kind of leave alone and just let them be miserable, because there's no hope for them except maybe prayer.
Hmm. Well, I'm asking for a friend here. Do you coach cat daddies? Because a friend of mine has a cat that just absolutely refuses to listen to him.
Yeah. Well, I would
um,
have to say training that cat. Get yourself a squirt gun, and when the cat's not doing what it's not supposed to, you squirt him with water and say, "No, no, you take the power." That's what I would do. Fortunately, I have a wonderful kitty that is very obedient. And when she thinks she's going to go out the door, and she's at the door when I go out, and she's waiting for me to open the door, all I got to do is say, "No, you're not going out. No, you cannot be out there." And she just hangs her head, turns, and goes the other way.
if only they were all like that. um, you had mentioned in some conversations that we had had that you work with relationship marketing and you can help people get leads through relationship marketing. What are some specific ways that people can use to get more leads through relationship marketing?
Well, you have to, again, be willing to be open to asking the person you're trying to work with, understanding who they are, getting to know them, building that relationship. You kind of, I guess you'd have to say, if it's network marketing, then you have a product you're trying to sell somebody. You got to find out if that product is even something that they might need. And if they don't need it, then, why are you talking to them? But you got to find out first. And you just, you start with conversation. How many children do you have? Do you work from home? Do you have a job? Ask those relationship questions to get to know them, and find something that they have in their life that you can connect to. And whether it be 4 children, and I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool. Oh, that's awesome, I homeschool too. What's your curriculum? And pick a subject that they're speaking about that you have information on or experience with, and just get to know them a little bit deeper. And let them know, I really love to continue our conversation sometime, but you should be able to have 2 to 3 conversations with someone before you see if they really need what you have to offer. And always, if you're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, provide valuable content, providing value that your audience recognizes. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to see if I can try that. Or inspiration. Put up some inspirational content that inspires them, that lifts them up. Don't make things about me. Don't make things about what you do and who you are. Make it about the other person. And just we just have to learn to start talking with people and connecting with them one on one, and not do these blast things. Just care about them. If you see something on their personal profile that you engage with, that you're inspired by, comment about it. Let them know that it inspired you, that it encourages you. Say comments, make sure you're giving uplifting comments and encouraging comments, not criticism. Do not ever criticize people on Facebook because you're going to open up a whole can of worms you don't want to be involved in.
That's true. I've seen that happen in several Facebook groups that I'm in, and they start in and things just suddenly don't go their way and they're surprised. You had
Exactly.
mentioned multiple streams of income
Mhm.
earlier.
Yeah.
What are multiple streams of income? Why should people have them? Why should people care about them?
Mhm. Well, you don't want to, it's like they say, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you only have an employee mindset income, that's the only income you have is working for somebody else. What happens if they decide they don't want you anymore? What happens if the company goes under? What happens if you can't scale up in that company? What are you going to do? And so it's just avenues of having different ways of bringing money in, whether it be an investment that you're investing in, maybe you invest in stocks and bonds and you've got some income coming in on a monthly basis from interest that those bonds are earning or whatever, or if you're trading and you're a trader and you go on and do some trading once or twice a week to make sure you keep that account growing. And then the thing that I love to do is affiliate marketing. And it's really kind of strange story because I got into affiliate marketing by accident years ago, 2015, and I had no idea what affiliate marketing was. I had no idea what it was. I didn't have any interest in it, and it has become the number one source of income for me after my crash and burn of 2021 because I was able to start promoting different products for different people and start making some money when I couldn't coach people and sit in a chair and spend time, a lot of physical energy working for myself. So it has become a very important part of my business now, especially in 2024. And there's many ways you can do it. It's one of the easiest ways to make money. You don't make a lot. I mean, you can make a lot of money depending on the products that you're offering, but it's not necessarily a big money maker to start out with. But it is something that I think a lot of people should learn. And the top leaders are in affiliate marketing. They don't just build their own business. They promote other people and they make money off other people as well. So it's something that is very lucrative and easy to learn and easy to do and easy to set up and has low money investment as far as having to spend a lot of money to be an affiliate marketer. So I mean that's it's been my savior. I'm so grateful that I finally gave in and learned about affiliate marketing. And I'm building an affiliate marketing business. I'm not just an affiliate marketer, I'm building a business. And there's a difference between just being an affiliate marketer and building a business.
So affiliate marketing is something you can help coach people through
Mm-hmm.
so that they don't spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on Facebook ads that don't go anywhere and things like that. So that's something you can help with.
Mm-hmm. You bet.
Okay, great. We've got a little over 5 minutes left here, and I want to ask you one last question. What advice would you offer to your younger self?
Well, I've asked that myself that, in the past. And I guess the thing that I've came up with was if I knew when I was in my 20s what I know today, I probably would have gone to college sooner and I would have made an effort in creating, and of course, I would have jumped into the online space when it was available and not when I did, because it's I mean, I was an Avon distributor for 24 years, and when they went to websites and stuff, I didn't get into that. I don't want to have anything to do with it, and I didn't get my bachelor's degree until 2010, and I got my master's degree in 2012. So I got my associate's degree in 1990, and that was my first experience with computer. You know, the old desktop IBM. Put a floppy in to get it to boot
Hmm.
up, take it out, put a floppy in to do the WordPress or the Excel or whatever, and do the schoolwork. You know, that was my first experience with computers, and I was afraid I was going to break it. And I worked for a company for 5 years as a database manager, where I functioned between 5 different companies, and I blew up 3 computers, running them hard. I would have 3, 4 computers running at the same time, and I blew them up. So I
Wow.
did eventually break them, but it was for a good cause, and it was because their programming system, evidently there was something wrong with it. You know, it wasn't that I really broke it; it was their programming that kind of blew out, and so they probably learned a lot of things from my activities of
Hmm.
doing what I was doing, because that's what my job was. So
Sometimes blowing things up is the best way to learn.
well, somebody's got to test it. You know, it's like these websites. You know, these people that are building these websites, and then they go and make them live. And if I go into their website and their links are like 404 error code, and it's like, you should be testing everything before you go live. Why are you not testing? And it's so many people that are doing that today that they don't even test their own sites. They just assume it's fixed or it's right.
Right. And AI now can write code, and a lot of times
Mhm.
AI will write buggy code
Mhm.
or insecure code just
Mhm.
because you tell it to write code.
Exactly.
You may not tell it to write secure code to where people can't hack into it, or you may not
Exactly.
tell them to write efficient code to where when people click, it actually works.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the thing. People need to know exactly what they're asking. And if they're asked, you know, what they're asking, is it something that AI can do? I've asked it things, you know, I said, well, because I'm just a computer, I don't have access to any of that information.
yeah,
So you got to
does
know
not compute.
exactly what you want from it, and that it can give you what you need.
Yeah, I started all the way back with Word. What was it? Word Perfect 5.1, the blue
Mm,
screen,
mm,
and I started in '92,
mm.
and just a couple of years after you did.
Well, I was in 80, 88, 89. Was the old DOS.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember DOS
crazy.
well.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us, MJ, and answering our questions. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
No, just I thank you very much, Rodney, for asking me to do this, and I appreciate all that you're doing, and I look forward to watching you grow in your business and in your future life that you've designed to create, and as you move forward. I really appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you, MJ. You have a great rest of your day.
You do the same.
Oops, there we go.